bring the best of your guys out year after year. Brian was talking about that yesterday.
Well, I hope so. I hope it brings out the best. Really good team, obviously. That's storied program, the tradition of that school, and it's a great honor for us to play them. It's obviously hard to beat those guys, and they're really, really good this year. And we'll see what happens.
Do you see a little bounce in this, little added bounce in the step last couple of days?
Well, I thought we had a good practice last week. And in for half, I thought we played decent offensively, and I love what we've seen this week. Kids, we got resilient kids. I mean, we got tough kids that go through a lot here, and I believe they will bounce back and be ready to go.
I was just going to say, with John Harbaugh and I were talking about this yesterday, about rebounding from a tough loss, and that's where you really find out a lot about your kids. Not that you don't know in this setting. I mean, they're dealing with this. They're dealing with some adversity pretty much every day, or challenge. That's got to make you feel pretty good about the mission of the academy at a time like this.
Well, obviously you always want to win, but I've just felt like that we've played well against two really good teams. Obviously this isn't horseshoes, so close doesn't matter. But I thought we played well against and did enough stuff to have a chance to win against Temple. And I thought the same thing last week against two really good teams, Houston and Temple. And obviously we got a real good team, following that up. So I'm just encouraged that our guys are continuing to battle. Again, we're not into horseshoes and getting things close. Hopefully we can find a way to finish one.
I was watching the CBS feature when you guys went to Pearl Harbor, and you said something in the middle of that piece about the mission of the academy is developing men of integrity. Does that reveal itself at times like this?
Oh, no doubt, because I think it reveals our whole program. Just our mission never changes. Are we a team that's going to try to cheat or just sell our souls to the devil just to win? We're going to work hard. Do what's right and do the best we can. If it's good enough, it is. If it's not, it's not. But we're not going to change our morals and our what we do and what we know is right. We're trying to win, but we're going to do things the right way.
I heard on your teleconference this week you talked about one of the things you sell when you're recruiting is playing these guys, playing Notre Dame. Can you expand on that just a hair in regards to making sure that the guys are aware of the relevance of this game on the schedule?
Well, guys who've been to South Bend realize that's a special place. And so people recognize how special the Notre Dame program is. So we sell that we're going to go to South Bend twice. And the 2 times we don't play there, we're going to go to cool places like San Diego. And so you play a really good program, a lot of cool places. And, we definitely use that in recruiting.
Frequent flyer miles and mountain up, huh?
Yes, but, unfortunately we haven't played as well at home either. So, but it is what it is. We'll get ready to go, and they got to travel too. So what happens.
One last thing for me, the naval presence in San Diego. I know it's a big part of this trip out there. How cool is that for everybody at the academy? The brass, so to speak, to go out there and kind of flaunt what you guys do and that integrity that you're selling.
Well, obviously we've played there several times, being in different bowl games there and playing San Diego State, and so. It's always cool to have naval personnel there, and there's a lot of Marine Corps people. We're going to need everybody, though. We might have to go to Coronado and get some SEALs and, get a couple tanks, get a couple aircraft carriers.
Top Gun guys come
we
through.
need everything. We need some pilots. I mean, this is a really good team, but it's always great to have naval personnel there, and a lot of our former players are there. So every time we play there, there's always a lot of former players that come to the game, so that's always cool to see.
Great point. Anybody?
Well, I just say, I mean, this team they're trying to get into the college football playoff, and right now they're in that position. You have a chance to really shock the world and kind of ruin the season for them if you beat them. Is that something you talk about at all?
We just got to play better. It's a great opportunity, Wags, but we don't want to go there and get blown out either. So we haven't been playing very well this year, and our goal is just to try to make sure we play Navy football, just to give ourselves a chance, and we'll see what happens.
So is the formula, I think Ivan said Jacksonville, the year in Jacksonville, you hogged the ball. I think you ran off the last 7 minutes. Is that kind of the formula to beat this team?
Our formula is like that every week, not just Notre Dame.
Right.
We try to do that every week, possess the football, limit possessions, but hopefully score. And that's always been how we've tried to win, and hopefully it works.
One other thing I wanted to ask you about is Alohi Gilman. You talked about him on the press conference. First of all, he's from your hometown. Did you take it personal when he transferred? I mean, this is a guy that's from your hometown that I know you had an involvement with recruiting to here.
No, I mean, obviously, I mean, there's, this is a tough school, and it's not for everybody. I know he created great friends when he was here at Naps and at his first year here. But he had other goals, and it's nothing personal. I don't take it personally. He wants to go to the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's been a dream of his, and that's not your goal here. You know what I mean? So it was nothing against the school. It was nothing against the players or anything here. He just had some other goals, so you can't fault the kid for that. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm happy for him. He's playing well. I just wish that they hadn't seen him play so well.
Right, I mean, because he auditioned for them in Jacksonville.
Well, I kind of chuckled a little bit because Coach Polian, who recruited him, was a head coach in Nevada, and he never offered him then.
Right.
But now he's at Notre Dame and they offer him. But obviously he played well at Jacksonville. And so, but like I said, it's good for the kid. He's a really good kid from a great family. Obviously, we wish he was playing for us, but he's doing good things.
Well, I thought some eyebrows were raised. He had a good freshman season in Navy, but when he transferred to Notre Dame, people were like, I'm not sure he can play at Notre Dame, but lo and behold, he is playing.
Well, they saw firsthand him. You know what I mean? Like I said, they
didn't have doubts.
They didn't recruit him out of high school, neither did Coach Polian. We did, but he saw them playing against their guys. And so there's no better film evaluation. You've seen a guy play against your guys, and he had a really good game.
Right.
So they knew he could play, and like I said, he played great for us as a freshman.
The other guy I was going to ask you about is Adam Mimosa's brother, Myron. He came here on a visit. Did you think you might have had him with his brother here? I mean,
well, he's a highly recruited kid. He had a ton of. I mean, Alohi's there now because he earned it from playing here and had a great season, and they saw, man, this kid's a really good player. Myron was a highly recruited kid out of Hawaii. I mean, the kid had like 30 offers.
It would have been a major upset if you were able to get him.
The only reason we had a shot is because his brother was here, and it came down pretty close. But he obviously wanted to do something for himself, and so excited for him too.
And last but not least, we know your daughter had a child. You're a granddad for the second time. I know you haven't had a chance to see your granddaughter, but how happy are you to be a granddad for a second time?
I'm getting old, but exciting. I'm grateful my wife came back. She's been gone for a month.
Well, so. I was going to ask you about how have you lived? Everyone's been wondering how Coach Niumat survived without Barbara here for a month.
All the fast food people know me. They go, hey, Coach, you want your normal? Goes, yes. Number 2, large fries. And no, I told my wife I'm eating salad every day, but right. She knows I've been at Burger King. So.
Well, things get easier this week.
Yeah.
Instead of a team that's going to throw it up and down the field, you're going to try to pound you and smash you in the mouth, probably, right?
Yeah, they've got they can throw it too, so they got a really talented group of receivers, a bunch of tight ends that can block and catch balls and run. Great O-line, consistent quarterback, getting their best running back. So, they again have a lot of weapons.
So do you feel they're pretty balanced? I mean,
yeah, they can run it, throw it. I think the quarterback is really running the team well. And again, their O-line is, I've always thought their O-line is always special.
Mm-hmm. So what is the key when you go against a team like Notre Dame? When, you talk about the O-line, I think 2 of the guys you played last year in the NFL, I mean, almost every guy you play ends up in the NFL when you talk about that offensive line.
Right, yeah, you go there and with their tight ends. They got a bunch of those guys too. We just have to match fundamentals with fundamentals. We have to, we can't take lazy steps. We got to keep our pads down. We try to get the linebackers there to get linemen off of our linemen as quick as we can. We just have to match fundamentally what they do.
I wanted to talk about you and your brother. First and foremost, I know you all went to separate high schools. So you didn't play together in high school either, did you?
No, we didn't.
Did you play against each other in high school?
No, not at all. More so kind of like off to the side one-on-ones. Mm-hmm. Me talking smack to him, he talking smack to me, and duke it out.
Right.
But never like in actual high school contests.
Well, I do find it interesting that you're an O lineman and he's a D lineman. Is there any story to how that developed? I mean, you're the older brother, right? By what, a year or 2?
3 years.
3 years. So you would thought maybe he wanted to be an O lineman like his older brother.
No, he didn't kind of like the big boy mentality. He liked the kind of dog mentality, which is the D line. So he just went to that.
Right.
So
right.
I was like, up to you, man.
So, I mean, how proud are you of him? I mean, the guy was a highly recruited player, went to Notre Dame and played as a freshman.
I'm very proud of him. Just super proud of him. Where he's come from, how far he had to work, how hard he had to work, and where he's at right now. I'm just so proud of him.
Now, I know you traveled out to South Bend last year, but I'm not sure, did you end up playing?
No. I didn't.
Right, so you didn't get to play against your brother last year.
No, sir.
And then this year he's got a broken foot, so you're not going to be. I know you were probably looking forward to this, weren't you?
Yes, sir, I was.
What is it just a disappointing the way it's worked out?
Not really. I'm so proud of the way how he worked to, play against Michigan. It's unfortunate he got hurt, but it's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with his recovery and thankful to the Notre Dame staff that helping him get better each and every day. So, I mean, I'll see him on the sidelines. I'll see him throughout the game, but I'm trying to get a win this time.
So obviously there's the oddity of how your names are reversed, but I know kind of the story behind it. It sounds as though your grandfather was a very important man. Can you talk about who he was? I know he's a high chief.
Mm-hmm.
Of what exactly? What do you know about him in his past?
Well, we come from the village of Vakia in Samoa, American Samoa. My grandfather's the high chief of that village.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my mom's side of the family. So basically he's been that pillar. He's been the foundation for our family to go to church, stay in school, and also football. He was there at all of our football games,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be me and Marin or Tua or Talia. He was always there to support us, rain or shine. It didn't matter. So, and he also bought all of our equipment. So,
So it's an honor for you and Myron to carry his name?
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's my second father. He raised me and Myron, gave us our morals, gave us everything we got. He formed us into the man of God that we are today. So very blessed.
So that Alabama quarterback that some people have heard about, he's your cousin. So I'm guessing that's your grandfather, one of his other sons. Do you know Tua very well?
Yes, sir. Grew up with him.
Yeah, right. So did you think he would end up like this? Heisman Trophy guy?
I kind of expected it. When the word of God is spoken to you, you cannot be the same. You got to be extraordinary. You got to be different from the rest. So this is something that we expected from him, also from Myron. So I'm proud of both of them, and just blessed is all I can say right now.
Past weekend, Bennett Mooring set another record, his second of the season. He is now the all-time points leader among place kickers in the history of Navy football. Bennett, can you just talk about adding that incredible and very prestigious record to your list of honors that you've achieved?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to get that record too. Again, like the extra point record, I think it's just a credit to our team for being on offense so much the past couple of years and putting me in the right spots. And really grateful to be able to put points on the board at the end of the day. It's really what matters, just going out there and doing my job.
So you've probably seen the list of kickers. Steve Fear was one of the best the Navy's ever had. I remember him when I was a kid. He was during like the Nat McCallum, during some really good days for Navy football. Ever met Steve Fear? Heard from Steve Fear? Anybody mentioned about who this guy was?
I haven't, but I looked him up after the game, and I saw that he served for 5 and then went on to the NFL and everything. So he's obviously a great kicker, and I mean, he had I think 62 some odd field goal attempts while I was here, which is crazy. I think I've only had 33 total, but
right. Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously a great kicker and really, really humbled just to be on the list with him.
So is there any more records that you want to set before you're done with the? I mean, you've already got 2 in the bag. Any more?
Not that I know of.
What in terms of you got to give credit before we turn this tape off to your snapper and your holder. You want to mention those guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, Pife came in first time starting this year at snapper. He's gotten really, really, really good at field goals and everything. I mean, we've timed up his laces perfectly, and he's been doing his job really well all season. And then obviously, G comes in, first time holder this year too, and he's gotten the job done magnificently. I remember.
Who's G?
Garrett Lewis.
Okay, I was gonna say. Let's make sure we get it right.
I remember working on holding drills with him back in January, telling him just how to hold it and everything. And I mean, it's kind of funny because over my course of kicking here, I think I've never had consecutive snappers or holders. I've always worked with new people. So I mean, yeah, each snapper and holder is just a little different. And so I think this unit's really clicking pretty well this year.
All right, thanks a lot, Bennett.